Because if someone has got some sort of sexualized fetish about paying a man to look and act like a woman, and then they're giving money to somewhere that's going to say, we're going to disregard the NHS directive in order to push gender stuff, does that not bother you? Does that not make you think, oh, that's a bit weird? They're the ones that are seeing through all of it and are just making the correct decisions. There's no politics there whatsoever. God, it is so shameless how these freaks are. You know, I couldn't do it without you, so thank you very much for that. And do not fear, even though I'm away for a little while, I will return. I shall return. And it will be wonderful. I'll feel very relaxed, very rested, very chill. And it's going to be great, okay? You are coping and seething. Okay. What was this tipster thing I saw? What's this? Let's have a look. Let's have a little look. Dude, I always forget you can't find his channel. You need to Google search it. Tipster YouTube. There was a community note that I missed. Let's have a look. Okay. Dude, there's not going to be any tip 10. I can't, dude. Dude, I did a whole fucking tipster thing yesterday. Okay, we're not doing. I can't do it, dude. I can't do it. What am I supposed to watch? It's all old shit. Making content. I missed this. Making content is much more enjoyable when you're working on projects you actually find interesting. My current work may not net the highest viewership or maximize my revenue earning potential, but I'm actually enjoying making content again. And for me, that's far more rewarding. Thank you to those of you who stuck it out with me during the recent shift in direction. I know this content isn't for everyone, but to those of you still here, I genuinely appreciate you. And thank you for joining me as we expose the world of survival horror. Oh my god, dude. I just don't know. Like, dude, what is there? It's all old, boring shit, isn't it? I'm lazy. I'm being lazy today, guys, okay? Shamelessly being lazy. What's the shortest possible video? Oh, okay. Okay, I tell you what we'll do. Because, you know, I was thinking about doing this yesterday, and I chose another video in the end, okay? I want to see him thirsting over Finster. That is what we're going to watch, okay? That is what we're going to check out. It's only 10 minutes. Okay. Just the in and out bit of tip.
Okay,
10.
so chat, I wanted to talk about something related to Finster. As some of you all know, what was it, like 2 or 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, they did this video coming out where they talked about how they were on HRT. It's been something that's been speculated for quite some time now, but they officially came out a couple weeks ago and shared that, yes, they are on HRT. Now, we're not going to talk...
The way he talks about it, it's so funny, man. It's so funny. Yes, it was discussed. It was discussed greatly, and it came out that, yes, they are indeed on HRT. Yes, he's on the GOCK watch. It's on GOCK watch.
Money off depressed people.
Some juice for your holiday, and a haiku. Chudlogic departs. Seaside whispers calm his mind. Social charge renewed.
Yes, true. Thank you for the $5. You know what old Tippy's thinking, don't you? He's rubbing his hands together. He's thinking, oh, they're on HRT. Good. Good. There'll be a couple of, you know what, to have a little look at soon. That's what he's thinking. You know it. You know it. Okay.
Talk about this specifically, but something that seems to be happening as a result of this announcement, and that is something that I saw this morning tweeted out by Finster, and it's insane. It's absolutely insane that this happened, but let's go ahead and let's dive into it. Finster tweeted out the following: "The Times doxed my full name in an article to slander trans healthcare donations."
Is that really doxing? A paper is writing an article about you, and in the course of their journalism, they say your name. That's not what doxing means. I don't think writing a journalistic piece about you with your name is doxing. Yeah, exactly. It's like if there was an article written about you, like for example, let's say that I committed some crime or did something that was of a journalistic interest.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I
I would
make
get my name put
money
out there,
off
and I
depressed
wouldn't
people?
consider that
Nice you
doxing.
see you energetic. Hopefully you are feeling better. Poor Tipster can barely keep it in his pants while looking at Finster.
Thank you for the $5. I didn't cover this story because it was fucking stupid. I didn't care about it at the time, but I remember it being spread about and stuff. But yeah, I don't think that a story of public interest, and I think this is a story of public interest. I don't think they're mentioning you. Also, wait, Sugar Daddy. Is this about that doc? Wait, is this about that person? What's the name of the person? Is that the same person that gives loads of money to Finster?
Laughing my fucking ass off. We're going to take a look at the article in a second, but I want to finish this Twitter thread first. Really dislike political stuff, but I made this donation without fundraising to help trans adults in the UK who can't afford healthcare. Having said that, I have no problem with puberty blockers being prescribed to give people a better life. I'll happily pledge the entire donation amount again, plus what was matched by my viewer at the time. And for the journalist that asked for my quote 3 hours before the article was released, my official quote is "suck my ass." Oh shit! Oh shit! This is a
there it is. See, I'm glad we're watching this one because we get the bit of the soundboard magic that we didn't have yesterday.
Common thing we see with content creators and journalists. Like, journalists will reach out as if they want like a genuine comment from you, or they actually give a fuck about what you have to say. But like reaching out 3 hours before publishing the article, like, come on.
Do we even know if that's true? I would be surprised if this journo only reached out 3 hours before the article was published. Maybe there was a further follow-up that was more recent, but generally speaking, they will get, like, it's in their interest to have as much information as possible to put out there. So yeah, I'm a bit skeptical about this idea. It was only 3 hours before and I didn't have a chance to respond.
Are you fucking... That's malicious as fuck. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's dive into the actual article here. I have redacted the name of Finster in the article. Wait, did the... Okay, cool. The redactions did work. Just had to make sure. But obviously, it's out there. But I'm not going to further share their docs. So I've chosen to redact it in the article here.
Oh my god, dude. I've chosen. Ladies and gentlemen, I have made the decision. I will not be sharing further the docs of this individual on my 2.1k view video. Okay, dude, wow. And on his however many viewed stream at the time. What was this when he was on Twitch? Bro, dude, it's in the fucking Times. It's in the Times, dude, okay? I appreciate you in the US. This is like a massive paper in the UK. Way more people will have seen it in the first fucking 10 minutes this was put up than on your stream and on your fucking channel.
But this is an article by the Times. Puberty blocker clinic accepted 20,000. This is pounds, right? Pounds? Correct me if I'm wrong. 20,000 pound donation from Sugar Daddy. Gender GP, which privately prescribes hormone drugs to children, can skip the NHS ban on the drugs because it is private. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's dive into this. And yeah, people are telling me it is indeed pounds. Cool. A private clinic that has vowed to defy an NHS directive banning the prescription of...
I mean, I'm thinking, like, you don't know what you don't know. But this dude is going to talk about a story involving the UK and not even know what the sign for a pound is. If it's like some obscure country, right? If it's some obscure country that you've never fucking heard of before, I can understand not knowing what something means. But like, bro, you're really going to jump into this and you don't even know what the pound sign is? Like, come on, dude. That's fucking insane. That's mental.
Puberty blockers to children accepted a 20,000 pound donation from a sugar daddy who paid a male YouTuber thousands of pounds to behave like a
Oh my god, this is. What's the name of the person? It is them. It's that fucking name. What's the person? The doctor person that's been involved with Finster. It must be. Mustn't it? 10 Muses. Is it 10 Muses again? Is this a 10 Muses thing?
Submissive girl. Now we obviously know that they're talking about Finster here, and what's insane to me is that, like, what's the relevance of like Finster or like this donator or any of it? Like, what's the relevance to this? It just,
because if someone has got some sort of sexualized fetish about paying a man to look and act like a woman, and then they're giving money to somewhere that's going to say, we're going to disregard the NHS directive in order to push gender stuff, right? Does that not bother you? Does that not make you think, oh, that's a bit weird, that's a bit unusual? Maybe they're not doing this out of a sense of kindness. Maybe they've got some sort of perverse thing going on, which is why they're doing this, right? Like, it's a bit perverse to have a sexual fetish about this and give money to support it, right? And I've looked at the 10 Muses stuff, and yeah, the 10 Muses stuff is fucking crazy. There's even stuff that even made Finster feel uncomfortable. Like, they gave one donation and said something like, oh, maybe you could take some of the fat from one part of your body and put it somewhere else. Like, they were talking about, like, insane surgery to increase the way that they look like a woman.
just kind of seems like it's a hit piece targeted at Finster while also aiming at this particular organization. Gender GP, which is run by Dr. Helen Weberly, a GP from South Wales, has provided children as young as 9 with drugs that suppress puberty hormones following online consultations. Now, this is something that, you know, for some people is viewed as like controversial, right? Giving puberty blockers to like children.
Okay. Even if you want to argue for puberty blockers, okay, which I wouldn't. I'm against the puberty blocker thing with everything that's come out about it, to put it simply. It's through online consultations. You genuinely think that it's acceptable to give young children as young as 9 puberty blockers with only following online consultations? That's insane, dude. Surely you would want to push for at least some sort of face-to-face consultation before you start dishing these things out, no? Bro, he's going to defend it. He's going to defend this because he's retarded. And all he's got is, oh, what have the trans people told me to say? Dude, Tipster is the soy version of Sneeko. In that he has the perspective and opinion, okay, of the last person that he is engaged with, or the last group that he is engaged with. So at the moment, it's all trans stuff up there. Oh, look, an alleged 10 Muses in chat. Yes is acceptable and you're next. Oh, no. Well, come on, listen, pay me a bit of money. Maybe I'll consider it.
I personally, I don't have an issue with it. As long as everything's supervised, you know, by an adult and by some kind of medical care provider, I don't personally mind this whatsoever. But some people obviously take issue with that, and they use that as a common talking point to speak not just against, you know, healthcare for trans kids, but also healthcare for trans people in general. It's a common talking point that's used to try and take away trans people's rights.
Wait, puberty blockers are only going to work for trans kids. It's not a problem for adults because you don't have a puberty to block when you're an adult, do you? Oh my god, dude. Ideologically captured. Retarded and ideologically captured. This is a dangerous combination. Autogyna Tipster.
And so this article seems to be playing into that.
AGT.
Weberly said that
AGT.
Her company would not be following the NHS guidelines issued last Tuesday banning the prescription of puberty blockers after medical leaders concluded that there is not enough evidence to support the safety or clinical effectiveness of the drugs. My understanding is this is not entirely accurate.
Okay, Tippy, I tell you what. Scrap whatever the NHS has said. What do you know about? You tell us. I'm sure you know more than the NHS, don't you?
Serious drugs to minors via online consultations. That doctor should have their license reevaluated for doing this.
This is the problem. He has not read or looked at anything. He doesn't know anything about this. And he's contending with, like, the NHS, our fucking health service. Like, the NHS isn't perfect. But if you want to contest what the NHS is saying, surely you would need to have some sort of knowledge or expertise to do so, no? Dr. Tippy. Dr. Tippy, tell me more about how you want to trans the kids. Come on.
This wasn't like an outpouring of a bunch of medical professionals saying that, like, hey, we don't think that there's enough data to support that puberty blockers are safe. This was a political move. This was a political move that was clearly aimed at taking the rights away from trans people.
What is he basing that on? How can he claim that? He obviously doesn't know. What planet are you on if you think the NHS is making a political move? Whoa! What happened there? Bro, this is just repeating the ideological poison that's been put into your fucking brain. No, it wasn't a political move. It was that the evidence has been looked at and assessed and they've gone, oh, this isn't actually as good as we thought it was. Maybe we should roll back on some of the stuff that we're doing, to put it simply.
I don't personally mind this whatsoever. Used to try and take away trans people's rights of puberty blockers after medical leaders concluded that there is not enough evidence to support the safety or clinical effectiveness of the drugs. My understanding is this is not entirely accurate. This wasn't like an outpouring of a bunch of medical professionals saying that, like, hey, we don't think that there's enough data to support that puberty blockers are safe. This was a political move. This was a political move that was clearly aimed at taking the rights away from trans people. That's all this is. A loophole in the guidelines means puberty blockers.
That's ridiculous, dude. In the NHS, okay, the thing that has been rolled back is the puberty blocker stuff, right? This idea that it's a broader attack against trans stuff in the UK is fucking insane. Bro, it's not true. He's wrong. He's totally wrong about this. He doesn't know anything about this. I was right when I said about the pound sign thing. He doesn't even know what the fucking pound sign is, and he thinks he can talk about what the NHS is doing and how political it is and what it all means. He knows nothing about this, and he's just speaking so fucking confidently about it. All just because he's ideologically trained to defend trans people at all costs at every angle.
Blockers can still be issued by private providers. So wait a minute. They're not really defying any guidelines or not following guidelines by the NHS then. If there are, a pathway that allows independent providers or private providers to provide this stuff, then they're not really violating or not following anything. Those guidelines don't apply to them then, right? A loophole in the guidelines means puberty blockers can still be issued by private providers. Campaigners have warned that children and parents could migrate from the NHS to online clinics running a Wild West operation. Here's the thing.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, the thing is, like, dude, would you apply this logic to other things? Like, for example, if there's NHS guidelines in place for, say, mental health, and then a private provider was like, well, we've actually had a look, and we think drilling a hole into the head of people that are mentally ill and scooping out some of their brain is actually a good way of dealing with mental health. So we're going to do that. I'm pretty sure you would immediately go, well, no, you should follow what the guidelines of the health services in treating these conditions. Trepanning. We're going to start trepanning mentally ill people because you see they've got demons inside their brain and that's why they're going crazy and we need to release them. So, yeah, I personally think that private healthcare can often be like a loophole. And, yeah. Bro, what is this? I don't look like that, do I? With my glasses off? Hey? Pedophile? Bro, what the fuck? Look at my eyes. Bro. Look at my tired eyes.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Ignore the NHS, use ashwagandha now, gamers.
Thank you very much for the super chat. Bro, my eyes are fucked. Look at my bags under my eyes, man. I look like I'm on crack cocaine. What the fuck, dude? You actually like a British person, true.
right? Like, if you're asking me specifically, like, what would I like in an ideal world when it comes to trans healthcare? What would I like? I would like to see, trans people have the ability to seek out, the care that they need for gender dysphoria or other like trans related issues. I would like them to be able to seek that out from, a healthcare provider. But the problem is when we have policies and we have legislation that's being enacted that prevents trans people from accessing their healthcare needs, they're going to seek out alternatives. So if you're someone who speaks out against like these, private providers giving people access to
Trust the experts. Unless the experts disagree with me, then you should trust the disgusting, subhuman, basement-dwelling, showerless Discord moderating, child enthusiast, bathtub hormone creators. Dude, that's such a good point, dude. They constantly, speak to some sort of, oh, well, the doctors say this. Oh, these doctors that work for the NHS, they're saying no. Oh, well, that's obviously political, okay? Bro, the idea that the NHS is operating off of a political principle, right? But their doctors are not. Their doctors are actually making the correct healthcare decisions. They're the ones that are seeing through all of it and are just making the correct decisions. There's no politics there whatsoever. God, it is so shameless how dishonest these freaks are, And Tipster is not, Tipster's a useful idiot. Tipster is, I tell you what Tipster is in all of this, okay? Tipster is the baker at the village down the road from Auschwitz, okay? He's baking more bread than he normally has to and getting it taken away, and paid for it by some Nazi people. And it's like, where's all this bread going? You don't need to worry about it, okay? Don't worry about it. Okay, no worries, okay? Like all these little signs that there's something going on and he's just ignoring it. He's just ignoring it and he's pushing it on. He's pushing it forward, okay? He doesn't want to ask questions about it. He doesn't want to get into it, okay? He's a useful idiot for this. That's the problem. Like, fortunately, he has got extremely limited reach and limited influence. So it's not that deep and it's not that big a deal. But it's just crazy that he's like so unwilling to be curious about this stuff. And look, I understand, I get it. Like sometimes there's dishonesty and you're misled and stuff like that. I just feel like nowadays with all the information that's available, particularly when he has hung out with people and known people before who've been critical of this stuff, he's just got on board with it so strongly. And I'd presume as well, he's probably done it without even looking at anything. It's all off of what people have told him. It's mental.
To gender affirming care or things like, DIY HRT and stuff like that. If you want to see those things go away, the solution is not to ban people's access to gender affirming care through healthcare providers. If you're really concerned about this kind of thing, maybe you shouldn't be banning people getting access from this from like actual
wonderful.
Medical providers.
But how do I make money?
Well, if you think that it's wrong.
Tipster would sell Anne Frank out if I gave him a shiny medal, military medal.
Thank you for the $5. Appreciate it.
Am I wrong? One in the chat if you agree. As a private company, Gender GP.
One in the chat if you agree. Yeah, I'm sure that there's going to be lots of political disagreement amongst your soys. Dude, these people are retarded. It was the Tories, the Conservative Party in the UK, just being evil. Dude. Oh my God. Why have Labour upheld it then? Oh, because they're Tories too, basically.
Is financed through fees paid by the families of children wishing to change their gender and does not receive charitable donations or public funding. I mean, they got to get the money somewhere, so where else is it going to come from? However, the clinic does accept donations for a fund it's set up to help those who are struggling to pay for their treatment. Among those who have given money to the fund is an anonymous American donator who gave $25,000.
Oh my God, it is 10 Muses. This is about 10 Muses. If you haven't done so, you need to go and look at the 10... I can't believe this got reported on in the Times. You need to go and look at the 10 Muses stuff right now. It is fucking insane. This guy is crazy. And the stuff that he was saying and donating, literally thousands upon thousands of dollars. And some of it was like, Finster without a goal. If you pay me X absurd amount of money, I'll dress like a woman for longer. 10 Muses. Boom. Money. Boom. Money. Finster, part of Finster's thing is getting groomed into doing this by getting all this fucking money from this dude. It's crazy.
Or £20,000 is a joint donation with the British YouTuber whom he paid to be his online sugar baby, the Times revealed. Again, what does any of this have to do? What is like the bits that Finster does as part of their content? What does that have to do with this article or this donation? It has nothing to do with it. It's almost like they're trying to make Finster and this donator out to be like a degenerate that should be shamed, when in reality all they're doing is donating to a cause that they believe in, right?
Just a complete lack of curiosity or thought process of like, oh, I wonder if there's something to this. What's going on here? Who's this 10 Muses person? Just literally sweeping like crazy.
The donor, who goes by the pseudonym 10 Muses, gave Finster, a YouTuber from Birmingham with over 500,000 subscribers, thousands of pounds to undergo laser hair removal, wear an outfit with the words Daddy's Princess written on it, and sit in a child's chair when he disobeyed his commands. Again, what does any of this have to do with their charitable donation to this organization? They're literally trying to shame them and make them out to be like horrible people or like degenerate people that should be shamed because they're supporting a cause that they believe in. 10 Muses also.
I'm just donating to Stylos give autistic pedophiles gun charity because I believe in it. It's just a complete disconnect. I don't know. Is it naivety, dishonesty? I don't know. Obviously, there's a question to be asked there. If someone is engaging in a sexualized fetish and then gives a bunch of money to an organization that's helping people with transition and supporting that, you know, it creates a dynamic where, well, you know, they're accepting money from this person who's a totally degenerate sex pervert who wants to, you know, pay people money to transition, and he's giving money to an org that helps with that. It's quite straightforward why this is relevant to what they're talking about here.
Also offered him money to strip on camera and undergo breast implant surgery, both of which he declined. Again, what is the relevance? Finster, whose real name is, and I redacted the real name, 23, initially grew an online following, making videos about computer games. He began wearing female clothing after telling his followers he would do so if he received a $1,000 donation or £800 in donations from them. Having previously described himself as a cross-dressing man, he announced this month that he had started taking feminizing hormone therapy and now uses both he and she pronouns. According to Finster, his anonymous benefactor is a wealthy American businessman in his 40s who had previously worked as a doctor. When Finster told his followers last year that he would be donating $25,000 to a transgender organization, 10 Muses matched the donation. GenderGP later confirmed that it had been the recipient of the donation, posting on its website that Finster and one of his good friends had given $50,000. Neither the clinic nor Finster responded to a request for comment.
Is it really grooming when the streamer... Okay. Use whatever word you want to describe it. I generally don't like using the word grooming to describe dynamics with an adult, right? I'm generally against that. So sure, we can maybe adjust it slightly. But the basic point being that Finster was, I think, playing with the idea of dressing like a woman. Okay? And there was this financial incentive that was then placed, and this guy would make endless continuous donations to push Finster to do more womanly things, to the point where they were going beyond that and talking about, well, could you do this? Could you do that? If I give you this money, will you do this? If you do this money, would you do that? You're creating this kind of perverse incentive where, you know, you're pushing them, and the benefit of them going more and more womanly, you know, creates this dynamic where they go further down that pathway,
okay, that's
the
wonderful.
more money that they get.
But how do I make
you know?
money off depressed people?
I've been waiting for someone to address F1nn5ter's trans arc. Literally becoming trans because of money plus attention, and attention is money online.
Thank you for the $5. And it's about the broader aspect here. So if that you know could happen with Finster, I mean, look, guys, just to be clear, just to be fair, it's obviously possible that Finster genuinely has got gender dysphoria, and this would have happened without the money. That's a possibility. Okay, I just think that it creates this very murky situation where it's difficult to differentiate that out. And again, if it could happen with Finster, and this is true, that this money and the clout and attention has, you know, caused this dynamic, could it happen elsewhere? Are there other trans people that are transitioning online and doing this that are perhaps subject to this? You know, it starts to call into question the veracity of some of these online transitions that you see, that I just think make it a lot more murky and not as simplistic as people want to make out, you know?
Why would you want them to comment on a donation that they made a year prior? What would be the point of this other than to not only shame this organization that's providing gender affirming care to people who no longer have access to it because of these new policies, but not only that, but it's clearly taking aim at Finster after their recent announcement that they're on HRT. This is like clearly like a hit piece meant to attack both Finster and this organization. And it's insane. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
You cannot groom an adult, but you can train them to sell their dignity for money.
Very true. Thank you for the $5. There we go, guys. There's your tip tent, okay? Yeah, I just think it's this lack of curiosity. And the thing is, as well, is maybe you'll look at it and come to a different conclusion or a different perspective. But the idea that you just hand wave this away is, what does this matter? Who cares? There's nothing to worry about here. It's actually totally fine that this person who's clearly some sort of fetishist that has paid Tip Finster a bunch of money to incentivize them to become dressed up as a woman more and also to transition, they're giving this big sum of money to this org that does exactly what he's got a fetish about, right? Like, you know, if a pedophile gave a bunch of money, I'm not saying they're a pedophile to be clear, okay? But if let's say as an example, a pedophile gave a bunch of money to set up a primary school or nursery, would that not raise some alarm bells? And you think, is it actually good to take money from that if like their degenerate fetish or, you know, whatever paraphilia, disgusting paraphilia is linked to it? I don't know. Maybe that's not the best example because that's like illegal. And I don't think it's illegal to, you know, fucking promote the idea that someone should transition. There's probably another better example of that, you know. Trans for bans. That's what DK was saying yesterday in chat. Trans for bans. Yeah, this 10 Muses guy is a total freak from what I understand.